who make it all happen. Take a listen.
The award show, and they actually invented a drink just for the occasion.
My cocktail was just really inspired by the glamour of the event itself. It's called the Moet Sunset Starlet.
We're going to have to try one on the red carpet beforehand.
The red carpet calls for like a drink or two.
Does it ever?
It's a little bit crazy. Well,
it's hard to believe it's already 2015. For some of us, change can be a little scary, but sometimes change can be a good thing. Why not start off the new year with a new career with hands-on training from South Texas Votech?
Set a goal, make a plan, and build your new future.
It was a good investment coming to SDVT because it helped me out. I have reached my goals in life, and I plan to better my life.
You can reach us online or call now, 888-321-3448.
From the Valley's News Channel, this is Channel 5 News at 5.
Two Brownsville teens being questioned right now. They ran from school police at Hanna High School. That caused a soft lockdown on campus.
We first broke the news during Channel 5 News at 4. The school district spokesman now says the teens were caught on camera holding a suspicious object. They ran when an officer tried to confront the boys.
The 15-year-olds were found on campus and detained. The district won't tell us what that suspicious object is. They say it's under investigation and disciplinary action is possible. Well, Harlingen police have a murder suspect behind bars, but they don't know who he is.
Yeah, that's right. Police say he had a fake ID on him. Our Letty Garza live in the newsroom with more information. Letty?
That's right, Mel Oscar. The suspect is from Mexico. Police say he is not cooperating. Right now, police are calling him Sergio Olivares. He is charged with the murder of Eduardo Zapata. Harlingen Police Sergeant David Osborne says Olivares was staying at the Harlingen Hotel and Event Center for several months. Last Friday, he got into a shootout with a victim in the hotel parking lot. Zapata was found dead in a field next to the hotel. Police tell us Olivares was carrying false documents. They have several names they are working to sort out. Investigators are still searching for the one or two other people who were driving in a getaway car linked to the shooting. That vehicle was found abandoned along the frontage road down the street from the hotel. If you have information on the fatal shooting, call Harlingen Crime Stoppers at 425-8477. Live in the newsroom, Letty Garza, Channel 5 News at 5.
The son of a former Gulf cartel leader is now in trouble with the feds. Osiel Cardenas Jr. is the son of Osiel Cardenas Guillen, while Jr. was just charged with attempting to smuggle ammunition from the U.S. into Mexico. Cardenas was caught with 290 rounds of 9mm ammunition. He also had nearly 200 rounds for other guns. He had tactical gear with him too, we're told. A detention hearing is set for Thursday. His dad is currently serving a 25-year prison sentence for drug trafficking.
Also on our border radar, all new information from intelligence experts confirms kidnappings are on the rise. Last month, we reported the latest FBI warning. They said crime groups in Tamaulipas State were targeting visitors. Express kidnappings, taking the victim to an ATM and forcing them to withdraw money, were on the rise there. Now this, Stratford reported kidnappings in Tamaulipas increased by 28% last year. Mexican newspaper Reforma listed 244 reported cases compared with 191 in 2013. An entire police force in Veracruz State was questioned in the disappearance of a journalist. Fellow journalists and activists protested outside City Hall in Medellín de Bravo, demanding Moises Sanchez Cerezo be found. The Associated Press reports Sanchez was removed from his home last Friday by armed men who reportedly confiscated his computer, camera, and telephone. Family members witnessed the incident. Sanchez owns a local weekly paper, La Unión.
Municipal policemen have participated not only in this, but in many attacks against journalists and the rest of society here in Medellin.
My brother's disappearance won't be left unpunished. I will prosecute you.
Sanchez reported on local government corruption. At a news conference, the city's mayor denied any involvement in his disappearance.
Mexican President Enrique Peña Nieto met with President Obama today. Obama says the U.S. will try to help Mexico beat drug cartels. He's also looking for support on his new immigration policies. The president also wants Peña Nieto to help with Cuba. You see, Obama is pressuring Cuba to reestablish diplomatic and commercial ties. Another American died in the mountains of Mexico. 26-year-old Andrew Poole from Austin died Saturday in Potrero Chico. The Nuevo León state prosecutor says he fell more than 200 feet off the Cerro de Toro mountain. A German climber died the day before on the same mountain. An American, Hari Khalsa, died at a state park in Morelos on Thursday. Authorities say he got lost, and temperatures in that area can reportedly fall into the 40s. Khalsa had only on a t-shirt and shorts.
Well, back here at home, 4 people face charges connected to the armed robbery of a Brownsville Radio Shack store. Javier Baron Jr. and Osmond Layton are charged with aggravated robbery and evading arrest. They allegedly hit the Radio Shack on Boca Chica this weekend. Police later found the men hiding in a Brownsville home. Jesus Alonso Jr. and Jarciel Adiel Rodriguez were arrested for hiding Baron and Layton. Police found the stolen merchandise, also a surveillance system, handheld scanner, and a black BB gun inside the suspect's vehicle.
The owners of 2 eight-liner gaming halls in Raymondville could shell out more than $38,000 in fines. Police shut down the gaming parlors because they didn't have the necessary permits. Well, one owner had 44 machines and the other had 33 machines. Remember those numbers, 44, 33. The fine is capped at $500 per machine. Raymondville recently passed a strict game room ordinance. Each machine must have a state and county permit.
Across the valley today, it has been mild. Temperatures actually bumping up into the 60s across the entire area. 64 Harlingen and Weslaco, McAllen 65 right now, Brownsville at 67 degrees. It's been a quiet day across the area. Certainly at the moment, just a few clouds out there. Bright sun trying to poke through those clouds. Radar has been quiet for the moment and will likely be quiet tonight and early tomorrow, but the chance of rain on the increase tomorrow night and pretty much all day Thursday, Friday, and into Saturday as well. A close look at that forecast is coming up in a few minutes.
Folks in Latina are closely watching our first Warn 5 forecast. You see, when it rains there, it will flood. The small Cameron County community does not have any drainage. This is what it looked like 2 weeks after a recent rain. So we called the Public Works again today. The county is now considering pumping out the water ahead of the next rainfall. Cameron County also met with the state to create a drainage game plan. Some drains on dry ground are being cleaned out right now.
A similar problem, but let's go to Hidalgo County for this report. Hidalgo neighborhood east of Edinburg has a problem with standing water. They can't get rid of it. People there say it's been around since September. Our Leslie Aguilar set out to investigate what they've had to deal with, and she's live in her studio with details on what she found out. Leslie?
Well, Oscar, right now that entire neighborhood just outside of San Carlos is living in standing water, a breeding ground for mosquitoes. Neighbors in the community say the problem started back in September, but something is just wrong with the drainage in the subdivision. People there say they've reached out to the Drainage District, the Irrigation District, Hidalgo County Precinct 4, and the County Planning Department, but so far nothing has been done. People have had to get creative with ways to live in all that water.
Y planeación pues dice que no puede hacer nada.
Planning has told us they can't do anything. At the very least, they said they would come and check it out, but they never come.
Now, we took this neighborhood's concerns to the planning department as well. I'm working on that side of the story for our news at 6 o'clock. But for now, live in the studio, Leslie Aguilar, Channel 5 News at 5.
State investigators.
I'll take it. Investigators are reconstructing an accident scene. There you go, Oscar.
All right, back to the top of this report. Investigators reconstructing an accident scene. You might remember that back in October, DPS Sergeant Johnny Hernandez told Channel 5 News a preliminary investigation showed a motorcycle ran a red light at an intersection near Highway 107 and Richardson and hit an SUV. Both people on that motorcycle were killed. 3 people in the SUV were injured. TxDOT says there were 6 other accidents in the same spot last year. Officials will review if improvements, that is, need to be made there.
It's crazy. I live here and I know 2 cops getting shot. It's ridiculous.
2 more police officers shot in New York City. The shooter is still on the run at this hour.
And we're tracking developing news. Some good news. The remains of more passengers were just recovered. New information on the search for Air Asia Flight 8501 in about 10 minutes.
Breaking news. Breaking stories. This is Channel 5 News with Oscar Adame, Melissa Correa, and First Warn 5 Weather with Chief Meteorologist Tim Smith. This is Channel 5 News at 5.
Pizza Hut, $11. That's right, any Pizza Hut pizza, just $11. Enjoy your classic favorites like pepperoni and supreme, or explore new flavors with Pretzel Piggy for friends, family, or just a night in. Pizza Hut, $11.
There's never been a better time to try Time Warner Cable. With HD content you love to watch virtually anytime, anywhere. Ultra-fast internet at the speed you need. An unlimited nationwide calling. All together for the first time for $89.99 a month. Plus, enjoy big Hollywood blockbusters from Epix. Now with free installation and TV equipment included. That's a savings of over $900. Try it, love it, or your money back guaranteed. Time Warner Cable. Enjoy better.
We gave people a mind-blowing ride in what they thought was our most advanced Ultima race car. Then, we just blew their minds.
It's just crazy that this is like the car. I was just it.
The 2015 Nissan Altima with blind spot warning and zero-gravity seats. Choose the 38 mpg Highway Altima, starting at just $22,300. Altima, from the most fuel-efficient lineup in America. Shop ChooseNissan.com. Nissan, innovation that excites.
Celebrate your unforgettable moments with Pandora. Available at Weslaco's authorized Pandora retailer. See Snaros Fine Jewelry, downtown Weslaco.
Oh, hi, Jesus. You're doing a good job around here. So, what are your plans after high school?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I just stay here. I like this job. Or what, you don't want me here?
No, it's not that. It's just that I want more for you. You're great around here, but I know you can achieve more, and it all starts with a college education.
Yeah, I thought about it, but...
Well, you have to do more than just think about it. Talk to your parents and school counselor. They'll help you along the way. And remember, we're all supporting you.
Pizza Hut fans, are you ready for this? Great pizza and awesome wings. Some things just go together, and at Pizza Hut, we get it. That's why we're giving you a large pepperoni pizza and 8 wings for just $16. Now that's something to celebrate. Pizza Hut, make it great.
A manhunt is happening now after 2 more New York City police officers were shot.
It happened last night. NYPD offering a $2,000 reward for information that leads to an arrest. Miguel Marquez shows us how the shooting happened.
The NYPD on a manhunt.
It's crazy. I live here and I know 2 cops getting shot. It's ridiculous.
Police scouring New York City for 2 male suspects who allegedly shot 2 plainclothes NYPD officers overnight. Newly released surveillance video shows one of the suspects at a shop window, then turning, and the suspect fires the gun. The officers responding to a robbery at a grocery store in the Bronx near the end of their shift.
The officers returned fire, and during the exchange, 2 anti-crime officers were wounded.
One of the officers, a 30-year-old male, remains in critical but stable condition after suffering gunshot wounds to his arm and lower back. The other, a 38-year-old who was shot in the chest and arm, also in stable condition.
It's getting dangerous out here, you know, and this is a bad neighborhood here.
New York's police commissioner says the suspects fled the scene after hijacking a car, later found abandoned with a black revolver nearby. The suspects described as Hispanic males, between 25 and 30 years old.
Investigators were notified of a male who had entered Columbia Presbyterian Hospital in Upper Manhattan with a gunshot wound to the back. Detectives are currently investigating any possible connection to this previous incident.
This comes as the police department is still reeling from the loss of 2 of their own and a city still grappling with tensions between police and the community.
These officers did something that was extraordinarily brave this evening, and they did it as part of their commitment. This is absolutely a case of officers going above and beyond the call to protect their fellow New Yorkers.
That was Miguel Marquez reporting. New York City police say they found a .44 caliber revolver after the shooting. The next step is matching ballistics.
Across the valley today, some sunshine, a little bit of it shining through those clouds. And tomorrow, we may warm up for a while, but then, well, the cold front's coming. When we come back, we'll check your First Warn 5 forecast for La Gloria, Elsa, San Pedro, and the rest of the valley. Next.
Introducing the new Subway Simple 6 menu. 6 of our best 6-inch subs like the Italian BMT and tender turkey breast with a 21-ounce drink and a bag of chips for just $6 every day. It's value made simple. Subway.
Is your back and neck pain keeping you from enjoying the things that you love to do? Disc Disease Solutions is a revolutionary treatment of lower back and neck pain, now available in the Rio Grande Valley at Rio Grande Valley Orthopedic. If you're suffering from one of the following, come into RGVO for your assessment and how to get fitted now. This unique and patented vertical air pressure technology creates traction as the brace is inflated. The pain is reduced while assisting in active rehabilitation. Don't let the pain slow you down. Get back into the swing of life at Rio Grande Valley Orthopedic.
When you want a dependable truck, you want the most awarded pickup of 2014. You want the truck from the family of the most dependable, longest-lasting full-size pickups on the road. You want the Chevy Silverado, made of high-strength dependability. Now get 0% APR for 60 months, or current GM owners can trade up to get $6,500 total value on this Silverado. See your Rio Grande Valley Chevy dealers.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Tim Smith. Do you have the KRGV weather app? It's interactive. You can track storms headed right towards your neighborhood with live radar. In fact, you can check the weather for any place you want. Check out the 10-day forecast. One touch delivers hour-by-hour weather. You can see video forecast and even submit your very own weather photos. It's the fast way to get your official forecast. Download the free app, available for Android and iOS devices.
Supported by McDonald's and Payne Auto Group.
And now, First Warn 5 weather with Chief Meteorologist Tim Smith.
Hey folks, we start today with a huge shout out and thank you to Mr. Dale Henderson, a winter visitor from Ohio who spends his winter down here in the valley, and today he gave us some hats. He sits and when he watches TV, he knits hats, and 250 hats to be exact. This box down here goes all the way to the floor. It's full. There's another box here that's full. Thank you to Dale Henderson. We have a few of them in our hands, been knitting hats for months, and he gave them all the Tim's coats today. So thank you to Dale Henderson. We really appreciate your generosity and really will go a long way because cold weather is on its way, and those hats, we're going to get them out in time so folks can stay warm when this cold front gets here. Thanks, Dale. We really appreciate your generosity. Let's take a look at our temperatures across the area right now. 60s except at the beach where it's 59 degrees, but really a mild afternoon. You can almost drive with the windows down today. You almost needed sunglasses for a while today. And tomorrow you might in the morning for a little while. I think the clouds are going to be thick, but temperatures may, at least in the lower valley, get close to these levels again. But in the afternoon, our front's going to sneak through, and when it does, it's likely to drop temperatures a lot and bring clouds and some of that light rain and drizzle once again. It's going to be windy. It's going to feel like wintertime again. Certainly by Thursday morning, you're going to wake up and go, whoa, what happened? Big change from one day to the next. Clouds, again, some thinning today. We had some rain earlier this morning out in Starr County, but watch Future Track, and it keeps the clouds in there mostly tonight into tomorrow. Then during the daytime tomorrow, we'll get up to near 60 degrees early. This says 2 o'clock. We're still in that ballpark, but you can see the showers breaking out. Means the front's getting close, and tomorrow afternoon, the front pushes through the area, and behind the front, temperatures fall into the 40s and then just stay there. Some places maybe in the upper 30s and stay there. I mean, it's going to be chilly. Thursday morning you wake up, it'll be right around 40 degrees, give or take a couple, and the temperature won't go up. It'll be windy, cloudy with some of that light rain and drizzle. It's going to be cold. Now, tomorrow, your rain chances, not much during the daytime, not until the front gets here. So the second half of the day, rain chance jumps up to 60%. Then it goes off a little bit to 30% on Thursday, but it's, again, that misty drizzle. Then there's a chance just a period of rain could develop Friday into Saturday, and we're going to watch for that. High temperatures tomorrow, right around 60, 59 or 60, but once that front gets here, temperatures will go down. But again, you may spend the first half of the day at least in very mild air. So don't be surprised you wake up and even out to lunch. It's still nice, but boy, I tell you what, By tomorrow evening, temperatures are going to plummet and we don't get out of the 40s on Thursday and Friday. Again, we look at the big picture across the state. There's those showers that went across the upper valley or the far western valley this morning. Really pretty quiet right now. The front is in the state. The cold air not pushing all that hard at the moment. The high is kind of developing as we speak, but it's expected to push through tomorrow. As it does, the clouds and rain develop. High pressure builds down to just to our north. The northerly flow continues all the way through the rest of the week into the weekend. Low develops right on our coast by Friday. That's what gives us that chance for just persistent rain for a while. Look at this. You got into West Texas, even some frozen precipitation. We don't expect any of that around here. Current temperatures around the state, you can see there's no real push yet, but it's coming. It is coming. In the morning, look what temperatures will be. 16 in the Panhandle, 30 in Dallas. By afternoon, it's still in the teens in the Panhandle, so it will be a cold one tomorrow north of the valley. We'll get ours too, but tonight we're still mild at 52. Tomorrow up close to 60. A mild start, then windy and colder late in the day. And then Thursday, we just stay cold. We stay cold Friday, Saturday. Sunday, we bounce back to 52, and by Monday and Tuesday, we're in the upper 50s. It'll feel like summertime again after those days in the 40s. That's your updated First One 5 forecast.
2 prospects for the U.S. ski team died in an avalanche. We have a look at how fellow skiers are honoring them.
And the man accused of shooting 2 Pennsylvania police officers makes a court appearance today. What the judge said about the evidence against him in a couple of minutes. We'll be right back.
I'm injury attorney Louis Patino. If you've been seriously injured in an accident and the thought of medical bills piling up is keeping you awake at night, call Patino Associates. If I take on your case, I'll give you an interest-free loan that you don't have to repay unless I win your case. That's how confident I am.
The Pacific Northwest has some of the best and most abundant wild seafood in the world. Dungeness crab, halibut, salmon, shrimp and cod, everything you could ever want. And H-E-B buys it all. For over 20 years, they've bought more wild seafood from us than anyone else in Texas. We're talking over 25 varieties of wild seafood every year. They keep our Pacific fishermen really busy, and these guys love it. I'm Dave, and this is the Wild Seafood Department at H-E-B. No store does more than my H-E-B.
We gave people a mind-blowing ride in what they thought was our most advanced Altima race car. Then, we just blew their minds.
It's just crazy that this is like the car. I was just it.
The 2015 Nissan Altima with blind spot warning and zero-gravity seats. Choose the 38 mpg Highway Altima, starting at just $22,300. Altima, from the most fuel-efficient lineup in America. Shop ChooseNissan.com. Nissan, innovation that excites.
I'm injury attorney Louis Patino. If you've been seriously injured in an accident and the thought of medical bills piling up is keeping you awake at night, call Patino Associates. If I take on your case, I'll give you an interest-free loan that you don't have to repay unless I win your case. That's how confident I am.
The U.S. ski team is reeling from the deaths of 2 members who were killed in an avalanche in Austria. 19-year-old Bryce Assel and 20-year-old Ronnie Burlack and 6 other skiers were heading down a mountain when the group got caught up in that avalanche yesterday. 4 skiers were able to out-ski that avalanche. Rescue teams responded quickly but could not save the American skiers.
Super sad. I mean, that's you know, a horrible way to go, and it's horrible just to have any loss of life at that age. So it's really sad for us.
During the men's slalom in Croatia today, the American flag flew at half-staff in remembrance of the 2 skiers.
The bodies of 2 more victims of the AirAsia crash were found. That brings the recovery of remains to 39. 162 passengers were on board that December 28th flight. So far, we know the identities of only 6. Strong currents forced Indonesia to expand the search area. 7 large objects were also spotted on the floor of the Java Sea. That could be pieces of the fuselage, but we just don't know. The currents, silt, and mud are blocking the objects from dive teams. And still no sign of that black box. Some think it's now stuck in the seabed. You know, to the case of the Pennsylvania man, he's accused of killing a state trooper and wounding another late last year. A judge says there is enough evidence to charge Eric Frein with first-degree murder. Karen Travers reports.
This is the first time Eric Frein has been seen in public since his arrest in October, accused accused of shooting 2 Pennsylvania state troopers in cold blood, killing 1. A Pennsylvania judge concluded there's enough evidence to send him to trial. Now clean-shaven and wearing glasses, Frayne was escorted by police through the back door of a Pennsylvania courthouse on Monday.
Eric, are you sorry?
It was a stark contrast to just 2 months ago when the 31-year-old appeared in court right after his capture, bearded and banged up after 48 days on the run, hiding out in the woods. On Monday, Frayne was stone-faced and still, his legs shackled during his preliminary hearing.
It's the start of answers to questions for the public, the victims, and their families.
Prosecutors showed the courtroom chilling surveillance video, not released to the public, showing Corporal Brian Dixon shot and falling to the ground after he was ambushed near the State Trooper Barracks entrance that deadly September night. The video also showed Trooper Alex Douglas rushing to his aid before being shot as well. Dixon later died of his injuries. Douglas is still recovering at home. Inside the courtroom, at least a dozen fellow state troopers sat alongside the families of Dixon and Frayne.
It's an emotional day. As you see, it affected the town greatly.
Frayne's defense team says its goal is to now keep him from being sentenced to death. Karen Travers, ABC News, Washington.
Sky's a little brighter, temperatures a little warmer across the valley this afternoon. Don't get too used to that, though. Look at the view out there right now. Pretty nice. This is from Sky 5. A little brightening in the western sky there. Fronts due by tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. We'll check on that when we come back.
Pizza Hut, $11. That's right, any Pizza Hut pizza, just $11. Enjoy your classic favorites like pepperoni and supreme, or explore new flavors with Pretzel Piggy for friends, family, or just a night in. Pizza Hut, $11.
Our new location is now open at Trenton and Jackson in Edinburgh next to Cinemark Movie Bistro. Get started on your New Year's resolution now and get 0 enrollment on our Platinum membership. But hurry, offer ends January 12th. Freedom Fitness. Get fit, save money.
Pizza Hut fans, are you ready for this? Great pizza and awesome wings. Some things just go together, and at Pizza Hut, we get it. That's why we're giving you a large pepperoni pizza and 8 wings for just $16. Now that's something to celebrate. Pizza Hut, make it great.
Con Mi Gente is supported by Security First Credit Union and Sonic.
2004, A Christmas to Remember. Remember that one? Woke up Christmas Day, all of the valley blanketed by snow.
Okay. I thought it was like a light mist, maybe. A whole new generation, though, got to feel what that was like a decade later. Here's Rick Diaz with the year's first Con Mi Gente.
The first snow flurries began to twirl into the valley on Christmas Eve. It was slow at first, then it picked up. But in fact, it snowed throughout the valley all night. 10 years later in Brownsville, the day started basically the same way. A few snowflakes at first, this time coming from a snowman. And then the fun begins. For most of these kids, it's their first time in the fun stuff. And even though it's cold and wet, your parents let you play in it.
I don't know how they make it like real snow, but like it makes all the kids feel happy.
Parents are funny. They even take pictures of you in the snow.
So I was part of that snow flurry, what was it, like 10 years ago? No. Doing it for her.
Remember Christmas morning 10 years ago? Everywhere you looked, everywhere you went, there was that delightful sight. Some say had not been seen in the valley in 100 years. And it was extra special because of all the 365 days of the year, the snow greeted all of us on Christmas Day.
Well, 10 years ago when it snowed, I was here in Brownsville, so this will be my second experience with snow. It's really neat.
This one is put on by the Brownsville Children's Museum, and it seems like everyone wants their kids to feel the experience.
And we want to offer the people of the valley new experiences, new enrichments. It also helps kids have a deeper understanding of new concepts.
So, had any of these kids seen snow before?
Yes. It's very cool. Very cool. But that's good. It's a good turnout for the museum. No, it's not. Merry Christmas.
idea. Bring the kids out and have fun and just let them experience something that most people down here rarely get to see.
Rare is right. It's been 10 years since we had our White Christmas. For Channel 5 News, I'm Rick Diaz.
Okay, that archive footage made me realize 10 years ago it wasn't a light mist, it was snow. And Tim said the last time we had a snow like that was 110 years ago. So there you go. You better watch the story again, right? We might have to wait another 110 years to see snow in the valley. So you can log on to our website. This is a live look at it right now at krgv.com. All you have to do is click on the community tab at the top of the page, and then you're going to click on Con Mi Gente. There we go. See all of this in real time. All of our past Con Mi Gentes are there too. The city of McAllen is hoping to curb the Christmas tree clutter by giving you a break. Christmas trees are piling up at the city's compost facility. The recycling center is also taking some trees.
McAllen does allow you to toss your tree out curbside. The city will pick it up, but they're hoping you drop it off instead.
And if you take yours to the recycling center on Benson this Saturday only from 8 to noon, McAllen will give you a free bag of mulch. The 40-pound bag normally costs $2.15, which is like, what, a gallon of gas now, huh, Tim?
It's a deal, isn't it? It's a deal. Here you go the next few days. No snow, but it's certainly going to be chilly. It's going to be damp. It's going to be, tomorrow's still pretty good. Much of tomorrow's still mild, but by the end of the day, the front comes through, temperatures begin to tumble, and then we just don't recover on Thursday or Friday or Saturday. We stay in the 40s pretty much the entire time with on and off light rain and drizzle. It's going to be messy. It was 109 years prior to the big snowstorm in 2004 that we'd had measurable snow. Big deal.
All righty, big deal. Thank you so much for sticking with us today at 5.
Have yourself a great evening. Bye-bye.
Closed captioning brought to you by Channel 5 and Clark Knapp Honda.
We gave people a mind-blowing ride in what they thought was our most advanced Altima race car. Then, we just blew their minds.
It's just crazy that this is like the car. I was just it.
The 2015 Nissan Altima with blind spot warning and zero-gravity seats. Choose the 38 mpg Highway Altima, starting at just $22,300. Altima, from the most fuel-efficient lineup in America. Shop ChooseNissan.com. Nissan, innovation that excites.
KRGV has a strong commitment to closed captioning our broadcasts. This allows the hearing impaired to watch the news and get the same information as our other viewers. For more information on KRGV Channel 5 closed captioning, contact Paul Aguayo, P.O. Box 5, Weslaco, Texas, 785-99-0005. You can call Paul at 956-968-5555, extension 5627, or email pabloa@krgv.com. After hours phone number, 956-968-3636. Thank you, Rio Grande Valley, for making KRGV Channel 5 News #1.
From morning until night, more people depend on Channel 5 News than any other station in the valley.
Number 1. Number 1.
Number 1.
Number 1.
Number 1.
Number 1.
Number 1. Number 1.
And we thank you. You're watching KRGV, Channel 5 Weslaco.
Welcome to World News Tonight, and breaking now, nearly 30 states below freezing. Interstates, highways covered in accidents. Also, the reports coming in at this hour, the major American city where they just felt the ground shake. Ginger Z is right here. Also breaking, is this a key piece of evidence in the disappearance of that passenger jet? What the new sonar images reveal. The power shift in Washington, the behind-the-scenes gamble, the coup that fell apart. Wall Street murder and the privileged son charged, the new clues just revealed. And the other big reveal at this hour, America's oldest time capsule just opened. What did Paul Revere and Sam Adams leave us?
From ABC News World Headquarters, this is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and we begin tonight with the images coming in at this hour of the dangerous drive home for millions. Record snow, wind chills 50 degrees below zero in some places. Tonight, at least 30 school districts closed in Chicago. And now comes word of something else. At least 2 earthquakes felt in and around Dallas. We have it all covered. First, the treacherous driving. This is I-65 in Chicago, covered in ice and snow, the backup for miles. And from Iowa tonight, cars scattered everywhere, many spiraling right off the highway there. And look at this, the blast of Arctic air from the Midwest to the East Coast, from the north all the way down to Florida tonight. Ginger Z is standing by with the forecast and the earthquakes. But first, ABC's David Curley with the pictures coming in tonight.
This may be the worst tonight. An interstate shut down in central Indiana. So many accidents leading to an 8-mile backup. A horrible morning commute, too. Pushing cars in Illinois. In Minnesota, medians and highway shoulders littered with stalled, spun-out cars.
Just go slow and put it in 4-wheel drive.
So slick, a fire truck in Delaware couldn't stop, sliding right into a house. Washington, D.C. got walloped, where 15-minute commutes turned into an hour or more. The problem here in Washington is that forecasters